Welcome back to the channel Trading Simplified. I'm a trading enthusiast and love to simplify trading. To get started, just a reminder that I'm not a financial advisor and this video is for entertainment purposes only.
Let's get right back into it. DKNG DraftKings, should we be buying the dip? That's a great question. Let's break it down. Let's see where we're at. So I have the 5-year up right now just so everybody could see just where the stock has been. Now, when it first IPO'd, it was a SPAC, right? So it was around September of 2019. So 2 years from now, it went from $10 all the way up to $74. So that's a nice ROI for anybody that actually got in at those prices. But now, people like me that aren't in, that always just day trade them, you have to start to see where can we buy this. So I bring up the 5-year first, just so we can see where are support levels. So when this thing is continuing to sell off like it is, indicated by these huge red bars here, we can see that the 40 is if you look at this clearly right here is a support line at the 42 level, but it's broken that. It's gone below that now. It's at $40, basically a low of like $40.12. Now, I do believe that a constant support level is around the $40 mark, even like $39. But if it does break that this week and it starts to go down, for me, an entry point is going to be $35 is a no-brainer because that is a clear support level that has been established, which was established here where when it was at high of 65, it broke down to 35. And that's where we were. And then we had a nice run up. But right now, DKNG is still bearish and it's still continuing to sell off. So you don't just want to go in at this $40 with all of your investment praying that it goes back up, which do I think if long-term buy, I feel like $40 is a decent price to pay for DKNG, and I believe you could get a nice swing trade out of it. I mean, on the RSI, it's 36, which is nice, so it's lower. But let's bring things more into picture here. So now we have the 3-month chart up, and I'm trying to zoom out. Something wrong with Webull whenever I do this. Here we go. So zooming out, you can see that 39.98 was the low within 3 months ago. But we are still just hovering in this territory, making new lows. So that's why I haven't done an investment in them yet. And I'm still watching them to see if they're going to sink down to that support level where we want them at that 39 range. I'm sorry for this. I'm just trying to bring it up so we can actually see it. This is not working. But when I bring them up on the 1 month, they're just continuously bearish. And you just want to be careful. You don't want to just buy something because it's selling off. I mean, their earnings came through and they have lost money earned per share, but they're still making revenue. They're growing. They're in New York. They're in all different states now. And I just believe long term, this is a no-brainer. But you want to get them always on sale, right? Who wants to overpay for any stock? I mean, all the way down from $50 down to $40, it was a 20% dip. So, I mean, you can congratulate yourself if you don't have shares and you're just waiting to see. But we do have some consolidation forming, which is nice. And we don't want to just buy the dip and see, and pray it goes back up. We have the consolidation forming here at the $39 to $40 range. So, I'm sorry, like $39.98 to $41. But we want to see confirmation of it going above the EMA line. And the EMA line is this purple line right here. And we want to see this is a tough one to tell because this chart is so bad on Webull. Hold on. Here we go. So we want to see it break. It has to break above the 43, anywhere from the 42 to 43 area, where we can say, okay, it's showing signs of a reversal. So right now you're buying in this stage where I'm only going to put 10% of my investment if I'm going to buy in the $40 to $41 range, in case it does drop to that support level of where I want to load up, which is going to be that $35 range. And you're not wrong if you did it at like, 37 or 38 if it gets there. But this is a clearly defined area of support, the $35 range. And you definitely will get a pop from there. But you just want to be careful. You don't want to just buy stocks just because they're selling off. Let's make sure we have something coming up. Now, I was looking in the news, and I don't really see any catalysts. They had their earnings a few days ago. They lost earnings per share. Looking at their financials, I'm just bringing it up on the other side, and I'll transfer it over in a second. But, when it comes to these types of companies, you always have to keep in mind that these guys are really about growing. It's all about growing. They're just trying to get this everywhere, get approved in every state, and it costs money to do this. So they're going to obviously lose money each year until we can start to turn a profit. And looking at their earnings call, I mean, they missed revenue by 10%, and then they also missed earnings per share by 47%, which is not good, obviously. But you expect that out of a growing company. When I compare them to the previous years, they are improving. They're getting there. But it's just going to take time. So it's a company that if you're going to swing trade, you really need to be patient with. Now, me, I'd rather do a lot of shares and try to get swings on it and not hold them long term. So, but I mean, if you are doing them long term, I think this is definitely a stock to go with. And it's not too bad to have them in that $40 range. But can you get them lower is the question, just by being patient. And that's how I look at stocks, especially if I'm going to swing trade them, because I want to get the best possible price and then try to ride them up. Now, if we were to just get a recovery just from this $40 range, which could happen, so we'll see. But here we go. We'll just draw it out. So it goes $40 all the way back to its high of 75. It's an 85% return, which is huge. Now that you might have to hold for a while, but who really knows? With these growth stocks, they go up and down, left and right, just based on the news alone. But looking right now, I'm not really a buyer, because look at this red from 62 all the way down to $40. Massive red bars. The RSI, which where is it not showing? Let me see. Let me just go up under indicators. Just give me one sec. Looking for it. Here we go. Let me take off these things. And I'll just go under the 1 month. And the RSI right now is at a very attractive price. I just ignore that line. I don't know why that's coming up. But the RSI is at 33. So, I mean, 1 month ago, RSI is 33. Now, let's zoom out a little bit and let's look at the RSI where it was before the sell-off, which is huge. So look at this. The RSI, when it was up at the 60 area, was over. I mean, look at this, 83, 72. So I'm looking at this like this is a potential swing trade, but I do not want to put my full investment at $40 because what happens if it sells off at 35, 34? I'm going to be pissed that I just didn't wait and didn't buy. So if you're going to enter 10 to 20% of your investment while we have this consolidation, because it is risky and it could continue to sell off, but you might be able to run it back up. And then if it dips more down to that 37, 36, that's where we're going to load the boat. And then we're just going to play him as a swing trade and hold him, because then we're going to hopefully get that nice rush back. But there's no guarantee in stocks. You always have to have your stop loss and what you're willing to lose. But if we can get them in that 36 range and even run them back to 40%, we get a nice 10%, 11 gain right there. So something to look into. DKNG is something that I'm going to be watching, and I made a video on them already about where I want to buy them. And I said I was going to buy them at 40, and I haven't even purchased it yet because I'm personally trying to put 10% first under $40. And then I'm going to try to, if it does keep to sell off, I'm going to go heavier when it's below 37 because I know that support level's 35 and I know people are going to start buying it based on that. So that's what I got for you. DKNG, something to watch this week.